Hey guys, I'm Liam, CEO and founder of NeX Gaming, and this is the NeX Level Podcast. Before we get started, I'd like to mention the partner and sponsors we work with. First off, we have Agent Inc. Apparel as our partner, great company to work with and quality products. We also have a merchandise store where you can buy shirts, hoodies, jerseys, mousepads, and a flag. Be sure to check out our store at agentinc.gg/NEX. NeX Gaming sponsors are GG Bracelets and Rogue Energy, both great companies to be sponsored by. Make sure you use code NeX Gaming for 10% off at their checkouts. With me today, I have...
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I'm a co-owner of NeX Gaming, and I'm also the NeX Maniacs COD team manager.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Zach Phillips, co-founder and owner. Also, the best player for COD for the Maniacs, just the best.
Yeah, is that right? You're the best player?
Oh,
No, it
yeah?
is.
That's
It
what you
is.
think?
No, it's what I
Yeah,
know, man.
I don't... Yeah, it's what you know. I don't think you're the best player.
Those stats, Zach.
That's-
Those stats.
Those stats are...
Gotta get
sucky.
them numbers up, bud.
Those stats need
Y'all
to
are
come
just
up,
talking
man.
about that one game. That one game. Okay?
Yeah.
It's just one game. Can't hold it against me
It's
forever.
one game. And listen, that one game might have been your best game and your only game you will ever be able to play. But I mean, I'm just saying, never mind. I'm not even gonna say it because it's gonna start a whole bunch of drama. I don't need it. All right. Yeah, nice. Alrighty. So, the competition of esports, the competitive gaming scene. What's your guys' opinions on that? I mean,
Honestly, it's a big field right now, especially with all the different games coming out. There's so many different kind of options. No matter what kind of game you want to play, there's kind of a competitive field for it. Like I know Rocket League is like kind of cars, kind of soccer, but then you have Call of Duty, shooter, Rainbow Six, shooter. So it's like a broad scale of whatever you kind of want. There's a competitive field for it. So I mean, but at the same time, there's a lot of people trying to get in on it. So it's hard to find the right players.
Yeah, 'cause
right.
especially since they're bringing out all these newer games to bring into the competitive side of things.
I mean, I don't even think it should be really how many players there are. You know, that shouldn't affect like the comp scene. I mean, there's going to be players for every game.
Oh,
You know,
definitely.
so I mean, I don't even. It's weird. I just personally think that the whole competition scene. I mean, you got to be really competitive about it. You got to be with it. I mean,
you gotta have a good team on your back too. or
Right.
It's not gonna work
Right.
very well for you.
And what a lot
Right.
of people don't realize is the time that actually goes into like being a competitive team. I mean, you guys have to work with each other, figure out how each person plays. You have to really work off like who's doing what for your team depending on the game. Like I know for like us on the Maniacs, you have certain players who are going to be really good at headquarters and certain players that are going to be really good at search and destroy. So we almost have to play off each other's like good side and help each other out on that downside. Like someone might not be as good at headquarters. Knowing the rotation is key. So if you're not that good at holding a point or holding the middle trying to defend, you could always be the guy who's on top of, okay, where's next point, this, that, get your team there to make sure that you kind of succeed in that. So I mean, no matter what game you're playing, you as a team, you all have to like practice together, play together, kind of really study each other on like how you do, because if you don't have that team support, then you guys are just going to fail. You can't be out there being John Rambo.
Yeah.
Right. So now I do have a question about that. Is it the quality of players that you need, or is it the quantity of players that you have? What What pretty much is the main thing of that?
In my opinion, I feel like
Yeah.
it's a little bit of both, because to have a big roster, that gives you a lot of diversity in your lineup. That gives you AR players, sub players. I mean, I'm talking on the Call of Duty side, but it gives you kind of like a mixing of who you're going to be able to play. But at the same time, you don't want to have a full roster, but only two of the people have that quality of gameplay that you're looking for. So it's kind of a little bit of both. You kind of hope that as people start playing as a team, they start getting kind of skill off each other. Like someone can kind of help someone with their gun setup to make them a little bit quicker, or whatnot. So it's almost like you want to have quantity and quality.
Okay. Now, with that being said, which do you prefer the most? Quality or quantity? Because I know you brought up with quantity, you can really have that diverse playset. But what about leagues or tournaments that, you really just cannot have that quantity there with you?
Oh yeah.
It's only restricted to a few.
If you can have that golden opportunity to have a perfect 5-man of just quality, they're competitive, they know what they want, they know how they're going to do it, they're organized as a team. The whole thing about being a team is being organized as well. So if they have that organization and you only have 5 guys on the team, but they are all tight-knit and they know exactly how to get the job done,
The quality of the players, in my opinion, would be a better thing to go with, especially when you know those players and you're really good with them. Because you can have a lot of players, but none of them really be good, and then you're just not going to win nothing. You'll just have
pretty
a lot
much
of
like the
you'll just have all
stars.
the players.
Yeah, sorry about that. My mic cut out.
Yeah? Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now, speaking about quantity, what about the stars? What does the stars not have but the Maniacs do?
Well,
An active team for one.
yeah, I was gonna say. So I mean, the Maniacs, yeah, we're going through roster changes right now. We have a lot going on to where we haven't really been getting any scrims or anything, but the team at least still talks to each other. We still have. I mean, I'm playing with you guys on a almost daily basis. Jordan's with us. I mean, we basically have a good group of guys in the Maniacs that still talk on a daily basis. So once we're ready to fill our roster and get everything going again, I feel like we kind of have the advantage just because we're the more active team right now.
Right. Now, with that being said, I know the viewers or listeners aren't really going to have much knowledge to how Jordan plays. How would you rank him coming into NeX Gaming to where he is now?
I'm glad you asked the question that way. So, at the beginning, I'm not gonna dog him. He's one of the good guys. He was rough, definitely rough around the edges. But now I feel like he's kind of picked up some of the stuff because obviously he plays with us, so he gets into that kind of larger scale, more in your face kind of. You can't just run around like a robot. So I feel like he's starting to adapt to that, and he's starting to pick up the traits. He's just got to really grind down on that aiming and that focus and the ability to listen. And
Right.
yeah, I think he's doing better for sure. I mean, Zach,
He most
how do
definitely
you
is.
feel?
He's doing better. The other night when we were on Shoot the House or Shoot the Ship, whatever it's called in that new mode, he was actually dropping good kills on there. Even when we were playing Search the other night, he was defending a spot
Yeah,
we
he
asked
was
him to
doing
defend and actually
decently
doing
well.
good. He was actually doing better than he has.
I feel like a big thing with Jordan too. It's map. Whatever map
Yes.
Yeah.
he's good at and he's played on a lot, he will smoke. But if he gets on a map he doesn't like, The boys got to get those numbers.
Yeah, this is also very true.
Numbers got to go up.
I will say that
Harley.
about him. He does need to expand his map rotation. Like when we did when we first started Maniacs, is we'd spend a whole month just going through each and every possible map you could play these modes on, even with CDL and non-CDL versions. So you'd get used to the rotations, you'd get used to what you're doing, so you know what map you're coming up to. And I would say that's something he needs to get good at and learn to do too, because then it would help him a lot better, and he'd be a lot better of a player, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I brought this up. It was a joke. It was a joke.
English, buddy.
Yeah, I know. My English skills are kind of lacking right now, but I kind of brought it up as to how we bring in the good players into NeX Gaming, and they kind of start to fall, but we bring in the bad players, and they start to rise and outgame the better players that we have necessarily.
See, what happened with that one was, because I know where you're going at with this one, because like what I was saying about when Jordan was doing good on the search the other day, I was doing horrible. Yeah. I won't even lie. I was at the bottom of the leaderboard the whole time. And what it was is us three in general and a few of the other guys just got used to not playing that type of skill-based game, more of like into Warzone and more of getting the merch line set up and doing all this other stuff and getting contracts, to where we just haven't been on Call of Duty as much to be able to actually get in there competitively. We've been on there enough to play like casual.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way I see it.
I mean, I think it.
You're definitely not wrong.
It's not even that.
We grind Warzone a lot. We haven't been on our search.
It's a unhealthy habit. I will not lie about that one. Warzone, ever since Warzone came out, I mean, I hated Warzone when it first came out. So, I mean, my opinions of it has really changed. And I mean, it's a really good game mode, but it is addicting. And if you are playing CDL and you jump onto Warzone, good luck, because you're not going to get off of it. And there's just a big shift or change in the play style of it.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, just jumping back and forth. Me personally, it's not good. So.
Yeah, you get on two whole different playing fields when you're playing between Warzone and then jumping into CDL matches.
Yes.
Right. It's just not great. But what do you guys think about the competitive scene for, like, in general for esports? Where do you think it's going to take us now, especially with COVID? Because I mean, summer's ending. You know, it's the middle of August. But you know, mostly everybody's inside, so not only do you have the sweaty tryhards on, but you also have the casual players on. So, I mean, what do you think's gonna happen for like the rest of the year? You know?
Honestly, yeah, Zach, you go first.
I mean, I know that with upcoming, they're going to be doing the leagues and tournaments again, and they're going to host most of it online mainly. So, I mean, it's in my opinion, it's going to be good for the competitiveness of it, because like you said, you're going to get that group of casuals in, you're going to get that group of try-hard sweaties that do nothing but comp play, and it's going to open up to a new world of how to play and what they're doing, because when like we can go in against each other and know how each other are going to play every day, but then you get adding new people into the mix, you don't know what's going to happen, and so, you know, I think it'll be good for the league in general.
Yeah. What about you, Jared?
I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, we're already starting to see regular sports they play, but they just don't have anyone in the stands or anything. So I feel like with esports, it's almost going to take the same thing. I feel like it's going to be good because, like Zach was going over, it gets the whole thing going and whatnot. But I feel like it also could be a little bad because I feel like a whole thing that keeps teams motivated is when you go to a LAN tournament and you are sitting there and you have people cheering and yelling, and that's like a whole part of the scene of competitive gaming, and that's what's kind of
The
ran.
whole experience of esports.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look at over the years that Optic Gaming had the green wall. That they just that was crazy to watch those tournaments and just how many fans were there, just blowing them up, and just it was crazy. So, with that not being there, I feel like it's definitely going to be a weird toll for like the big league teams that are out there. For smaller teams and leagues like us and orgs like us, I feel like it's almost a little better because it gives us time to get our name out there in different streams. If there's league tournaments that go really well, then it pushes the smaller teams onto Twitch and all these things to build up that credibility. So when we do have the chance to go to LAN tournaments, you kind of have a following already. It's not like people are like, oh, who's that team sitting there? You might actually have a fan base behind you at one of the tournaments.
Right. I think it's weird because I've been told this by my father. I mean, he's a big hockey fan. But when he sees no fans in the stands, it's like, the reason as to why these teams play is because of those fans,
Yeah.
If it's not for the fan base, I mean, yeah, they're playing it because they like playing it, but mostly and mainly the reason is because of the fans. I mean, at the end of the day, they're playing because of the fans. And I think not having that fan base there can really put down some teams. But with that being said, like Twitch, YouTube, RIP Mixer, and all of these other things, I mean, the fans are in the chat. I think that's what esports has over regular sports and just competitive in general. I mean, it's about getting your name out there and then really taking that audience that you've gathered and just take them along for the journey.
See, that's going to be the thing with the competitive league now, is that since Mixer did go down, Twitch has now upped its game a little, in my opinion, and they're going to be the main and probably the only streaming platform for the competitive side of everything. So I think it's going to be good in general for the league in that way, since they'll have all those fans technically still. They'll just be not in person, but over all the streams and stuff.
Yeah, I think doing I don't like looking at it like this, but I think of the I think Coast Guard, right? The military. Facebook Gaming gets the Coast Guard. Everybody hates that. I'm sorry, Facebook Gaming. Don't come at me. And then Twitch, it's like the top tier. That's okay. Twitch, it's the top tier. It's either the Navy or the Marines, whatever.
Right.
And then YouTube Gaming, that's the Army. And then you got Facebook. That's the Coast Guard. I mean,
the league's gonna use Twitch and YouTube both. They'll mostly use Twitch when they're live streaming, and then they'll just put those streams up on YouTube so that everybody can still be able to watch, so that nobody's left out. They're going to try to get it to all the fans as much as they possibly can, as quickly as they can, so that this season's actually going to be good when they do it.
Right. Now, I do have a question. For the competitive scene, let's jump back on into that. Do you guys think players like, the Maniacs or any other team, do you think they play it or they play competitively because of the kind of competition, or do you think they play for fame? They play competition for fame.
In the eyes of like NeX right now and all our competitive teams, right now they're playing to be competitive, to put that name of, hey, we're NeX, we're here to stay, and you ain't getting rid of us that easy, and we're not going nowhere, so don't think about it. Once everything gets set and we actually put our name out there more, I got a feeling a lot of our teams will go more toward with the fan base and still have that competitive edge, but care more about the fan base too a little more.
Right. Jared, what about you?
Honestly, like I can say from my own personal thing, I really like the competitive scene, and I also want to see the team excel. It's kind of like you almost want the best of both worlds. Like you want to be a really good competitive player, but you also want to look really good at the same time. So if you do trash in a lobby, you're like, oh, this is gonna make me look bad. But at the same time, that's just a learning lesson. That makes you look at like, okay, this is what I did wrong in that game. This is how I screwed that whole scrim up because I played like trash or whatever. So it kind of helps you in both ways because wanting to excel into I guess you could call it fame, you don't want to look bad. So it gives you the motivation to be a good competitive player.
Right, right. So now again, I'm gonna bring this up. Do you think that that esports teams play for fame or they play because they like the competition?
That's hard.
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly, because
Yes.
those big teams like that, Optic, FaZe, all of them, they have that good fan base and they care about their fan base for the most part. But at the same time, they still have their competitive edge. So I'm gonna have to say they kind of want to go for both, because it helps them more and it also will further their group a lot further than they should.
Right.
I feel like for a big team, the Huntsmen, it kind of proves that they like that competitive game because after everything happened with Optic, they branched off. A bunch of the guys went to NRG, started Huntsmen, and they didn't stop just because they lost their title. Like Optic is what really had a big. I mean, yeah, the players had their own followers too, but they started something totally new, not caring if it did good or bad with the following. It's because they love the game. They love the competitive feel. They love the drive of that thing, and I feel like they're a good team to look up to because no matter what happened to them, they're still out there grinding. They're still out there doing their thing.
Right. Now, for Call of Duty specifically, we're Call of Duty players, so what do you guys think about the Call of Duty League, the city teams? What do you guys think of them? Do you think it was a foot in the right direction for Call of Duty League, or do you guys think they should have stayed as the Call of Duty World League?
I mean, I can see why they did it. They did it so they could branch out to more people, in my opinion. So I mean, it's a good step for them, but at the same time, it could be a bad one. You just have to wait and let it play out more before you can get a good answer on that one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty early. It kind of, I mean, no matter what, it's just kind of like your fans are going to be your fans no matter what you stand behind, whether you're a city or World League or whatever. So I mean, I feel like it just gives them a home. It gives the team a home to represent. Like a lot of I mean, look at baseball, basketball, hockey, football. They have you know what I mean? They have a home base. So I mean, these
Right.
esports teams now have somewhere to represent. Like I think Optics Los Angeles, they have Atlanta FaZe, and then Chicago Huntsmen, Florida.
Mountaineers.
Yeah, Mountaineers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it gives them kind of like a home base for their fans to come almost surround, like wearing the merch and this that. It's kind of more matched to regular sports. It kind of gives them a bigger span. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Now, do you think that was a good play to do, or what?
I mean,
Because I know, like you said, okay, that city base gives them sort of that home, but do you think they should have just stayed away from that, or what?
I mean, it's
I
worth a
mean,
try, right?
yeah, you can't hate on them now for them starting it. I mean, if down the line if it causes some problems, then they'll have to do something. But right now, it's not a bad thing, so I don't see why they would even try to change it or do anything with it.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So, I mean, hmm, damn. What were what was your kind of overall motivation for joining esports, guys?
Mm. Honestly,
Yeah, that's
just
a real good one.
I guess it started back when before Xbox Ones and on 360, just being with a group of guys and going through and actually joining those little leagues that people could join back in the day. And I mean, that's where you got the feel of it. And then watching all these bigger teams like Optic and FaZe and them. I mean, I guess that's where everybody starts.
Right. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're not wrong. I mean, yeah. What about you, George? Huh?
I mean, I guess it was that kind of, um, I guess motivation to follow something that I really care about. I mean, I love playing video games, obviously, and it's something that I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm good at. So it's like, why not try to push myself to try to do better at something I like doing and try to make something of it. You know what I mean?
Right. 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 Um. So then, on that topic, why'd you all join NeX Gaming?
Oof.
For what, that kind of
So,
experience?
I mean, I knew you before you started Next, and then when I found out
Right.
like what you were doing, I kind of saw like a little. I don't know. I saw something. I heard how it was going, and I think I joined the server just to check it out. And you gave me my little tryouts, and I was like, you know what, I really
Right.
like this, and it was a way for me to kind of enter into esports and help out with something that I really saw a future in.
Right. Right. Now, Zach, I know you're co-founder. But why'd you join NeX Gaming, huh?
I mean, mostly because it was a way to get back into the competitive things of it. And when you told me what you were starting up, I just couldn't pass it. It was just a good idea. So I mean, had to help you, and it was just a good idea. And seeing where we're at now and how much we've grown since the first times we talked about it, I mean,
Right.
it just gives somebody hope, and you're doing something good to help people out and give people a place to go, because not only are we a competitive group, but also we are a place for people who just like to come hang out with a group of friends and just play games, just want to chill and
Right.
just get away from everything else and just want to play in a game. And we got that too. You just hop in and ask a few people, and you got like 4 or 5 already message you saying, "Hey, let's do it." So I mean, it's just a good
Right.
thing in general for the league and stuff.
Right. Now, on that note, what do you guys think the motto, our motto is next level? What's your next level? What do you think that means? I want you guys to take your time, answering this. But what is the next level for you? You know?
Um,
Um, yeah, that's a good one, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think next level for me is, I mean, kind of exactly what it sounds like, the next level. I mean, you're bringing up everyone that has the same mindset as you, and we all want to achieve the same goal. So everyone that is in the org kind of works to that step up to get everyone on that step. No one's going to get left
Right.
behind. We have casual players, content creators, competitive players, and no matter who you are, you're a part of the next family, and you're going to come up to the top with us.
Right.
So I feel like
right,
next
right.
level is just, it's an overall saying for us to kind of give hope to everyone in the org of like, this is what we are and this is what we're going to do.
Right. Exactly.
I'm gonna have to
Exactly.
agree with Jared on that one. I mean, it's pretty much us just saying, hey, I mean, we know that people love playing video games. It's gonna be around for a long time, and this is a place you can come if you just want to come and hang out and play video games. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you differently. So I mean, it's just
Right.
the next level just means it's just really much a group of people in a community who love doing this one thing and want to help everybody else love it too.
Right. 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 That's not bad. I do have to agree with you guys on that one. I mean, it's what we have 270 plus people.
I
I
believe
mean,
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all of those people really coming together and just saying, oh, hey, this is the next level. I mean, our great example of that is Jordan. He came as a very rough patch of a gamer, right?
Yeah.
But as he's been playing with us, he's been getting to that next level of becoming a better player. So
Oh,
I
100%.
think it's just, I think when you join NeX Gaming, just joining it and then the atmosphere of the people that we have here that, who want to make it to that next level. At the next level, it's wherever I don't want to say end up, but it's where we all get to. I mean,
Oh yeah. I mean, the three of
it's
us, yeah, we are the owners of NeX Gaming, but every
right,
single person that is in this org, that is who is NeX Gaming. It's not just us. All our
right,
logos and
right,
everything, it's the people who help us out every single day between staff team, basic members,
right,
content creators, competitive players, everyone makes NeX what it is.
This is true.
right. Right, and you're completely right. I really do think all of those guys really just make up that next level, and that's where we're getting.
And I love
So
to
I mean,
see you don't see fights, you don't see arguments. Everyone
no,
gets along. We're all on the same page. If someone has a problem, they
right,
bring it up. And we like to take care of things if someone does have a problem. We want everyone to feel
right,
comfortable. But
right,
you
right.
have been asking all the questions, so let me ask you one, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the hardest part about running the org for you?
Um, nah. Oh man. Um, I know I've said this to people. I hate saying this, but it's just the annoyance of trying to have some alone time. I know I get it here and there, but it's like there's just some times where I get burnt out or just my day's not doing too well. Um, and I kind of want to have that alone time. And then
Oh, yeah.
I have this guy texting me, hey, there's this content creator, this player, can you talk to him? Or,
Are you throwing
hey,
shots at me right
how's
now?
it going, Liam? No, 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 not you, not you.
Sounds like
No,
our
no,
text
no, no, no.
conversation today.
No,
It
I
really
mean,
does.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, Jesus Christ, guys, I'd like it, but, Jesus Christ, just, yeah, let me
Everyone
have
needs
some
a break.
alone time, please. Right, and I mean, I get it, this is a 24/7 thing, it really is, it gets really tiring, I mean, um, last night, I got off, at 1 a.m., I went to sleep. And I'm not kidding you, but I fell asleep and I slept until probably 10. And that was the best 9 hours of sleep I have
Just
gotten
gonna
within
say,
the
I haven't heard
past
that in a
8
while.
months.
Right.
Serp usually gets those good
Um,
1 hour naps and gets back on and right back to it.
right,
Mm.
right. Um, no, but I mean, it's difficult trying to balance, um, you gotta have those checks and balances, and with esports, it's ever growing, so you're not going to have your checks, your balances. You got to make time for that. So you got to make sure that everything is all lined up. You got your check-ins in place, so you can take that break. But with esports, it's difficult. It's difficult trying to find that time, and that's what I have. So.
Alright. So now that we got through what's the hardest part, what's your favorite part about how you've seen the org progress from day one until now? Like, what makes it worth it? Like, what is your favorite part about all this?
Oh man, I hate saying this, but I love it when people are angry at me. It just gets the gears going. I laugh it off. I mean, yeah, it's a scummy thing to say, but
When you just go in
I
and
really
just pub
do.
stomp an entire lobby and they are so mad
Yeah,
at NeX GG.
I got called a sweaty nerd. Some guy told me, oh, you play in your mom's basement. I said, yeah, no, you probably have $1,000 setup. Try playing on a bed. I mean, that's it, man. You gotta have that pro gamer bed.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know what it is, man. Yeah, I mean,
DX Racer
I
mattress.
just, yeah, DX Racer mattress. Yeah, DX Racer, you hear that? We're
Right, we're creating
coming
things
for you. Right. I just love the anger that people have towards me, and it gets me going. That's my motivation. That's my favorite part. That is my most favorite part. People angry at me. I love it.
Nice.
I absolutely. Yeah, I love some person fuming at me because, they woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I mean, that's it.
And what's your goals
Yes.
for NeX?
What's my goals? Oh man, I've told Darius this, our COO. I've told him this 1,000 times. I said, we're gonna get a building, but every time somebody walks into the office where our cubicles are, I'm gonna have a announcer thing from Toy Story. I don't know if you guys know this, or Toy Story 1, but the Pizza Planet thing. I wanted to pretty much blurt out "Welcome to Pizza Planet" every time you walk in.
That's what you want?
Yes,
In
that
the
is
grand
exactly what
scheme
I
of
want.
NeX Gaming, you
Yes.
want an office that just blurts out, "Welcome
Yeah,
to Pizza
welcome
Planet."
to Pizza Planet. Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
I guess
All
okay,
right.
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, yeah, it's just something to look forward to. I mean, within the past 8 months, we've been doing this. I mean, it's difficult, but we're getting there. So,
So, the question I got for both of you guys is, what is y'all's opinions on some of these new and upcoming games? You got Rogue Company, Hyperscape, Valorant, all these new games that are coming out that are set in like a competitive style way of playing, but aren't a big battle royale type thing. It's just a small knit group of 5v5 bomb matches and other stuff like that.
I think you said that, or not said that. Sorry. I think it goes back to not Quake, but CS:GO. CS:GO, it's a 5v5 bomb match.
That's where all these games
Right.
spanned off of. If you actually sit
Right.
down and play and look at the fundamentals of it and take a sneak peek into how the game was made, I mean, that's how they're all based off of, was that CSGO fundamental of how it plays, and they've made it into a new modern style of different games.
Right. I think that really basing it off of that. I mean, I know you have Battle Royale like Warzone, Fortnite, PUBG, but I think when it comes back to that 5v5, you really get that team experience that everybody's really looking for in esports.
Definitely.
I think esports, that's always going to be the main thing. I mean, it has the word sports in it. So when you think of sports, you think of a team.
Okay.
That 5-man team, that's going to be the team.
Now,
I mean,
since
what's up?
Jared is a manager of a league team, one of our actual competitive teams, and you are the legit owner, the first one, do you
Right.
see NeX Gaming making a name for itself in Valorant and Rogue Company and Hyperscape? These new games that
Oh,
are
yeah.
rolling out now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just like kind of really getting that full 5-man team that is dedicated to the world of esports as much as we are. It's really finding that team that wants it as bad as we do. Because if you don't find a team like that, I mean, I don't like saying this, but you're not going to go anywhere. So I think if we find that team that, wants it as much as we do, I think we can definitely go somewhere and get a name for NeX Gaming. Because at the end of the day, if you're not big in esports, you're just a little club that gets together. I don't want to be that little club.
Now,
I want to be that big thing.
have either of y'all dabbled in these new games? Have y'all tried them out to see what they're like, or did your homework on them or anything like that?
I'm poor. No, I don't have a PC.
I've looked into a couple of them, but I mean, you got to think all these new games coming up, they're gonna be popular. They're gonna start pushing out. We've seen so many different games come out, and I mean, think back in the day when Fortnite was brand new, everyone was like, "Oh, what the hell is that? A free-to-play game? What is this? Let's try it out." Now look at what that turned into. I mean, every year you're gonna have a Call of Duty, so I mean, it's not the same every year, but in the way it kind of is. I mean, you kind of have the same mindset towards what you're doing, but with these new games, it gives players almost a new ability to say, "Ooh, let me try this," and they might find a whole new skill in that game and could totally take off with it. So you might have some Call of Duty players who are just so used to that try out this, find a whole new skill, and boom, they blow up. And it could end up working out really well. I mean, myself, I don't know. I haven't tried them out yet, but I wouldn't mind getting into them. And I mean, I know there's a new Halo coming out, so I know people are going to be pretty hyped about that.
Yeah.
So, gonna have to dabble in that too.
I mean, there's just so many games coming out. I mean,
What
the
is
endless
y'all's
possibilities
takes?
is just.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Liam. That's my fault.
No. Go
Okay,
on,
what
go
is
on.
y'all's takes on these free-to-play games that are now popping up everywhere? Do y'all think it's a good thing for the leagues, or do y'all think,
I think it's
gonna just crumble down and fall on everybody's faces?
I mean, I think it's a good marketing strategy to really get it on out there.
It's a good way to flood the market.
Right.
Right. I think because when you have a free-to-play game, a 13, 14-year-old's going to look at that and say, "Oh, wow, I don't have to buy, so-and-so to play this. I can just download this game and then get as much out of that as I want to." It's really about attracting your following. It's about attracting that sort of audience that you need for that game. And I mean, I don't like Fortnite, but it's a free-to-play game, and they're getting millions of players every day. So I think it's just really finding that kind of audience that wants to play it every day, every month.
And the reason I ask you about what y'all feel about these free-to-play games is because two of the new games, Rogue Company and Hyperscape. Hyperscape is free-to-play now. Rogue Company is in closed beta, meaning if you want it, you gotta kind of pay to get into it. But later they're gonna release it as a full free-to-play genre.
Right. And I think that'll be really cool because it'll really give people just like they did with Fortnite, the Save the World thing. Now what? Save the World's free or whatever. I don't even think it's free. They said it was going to be free in 2018. It's still not free. But
Well,
I think
Epic Games is going through a lawsuit right now, so they can't really get nothing out free. They kind of need the funds.
Free-to-play games also kind of give you a new influx of players who might jump in on that game because, hey, I haven't felt like buying Call of Duty. They might be pissed at how the games are going or whatever, and they haven't been playing competitive. Then this free-to-play game comes out, and you have a whole new group of people who might be able to join teams. You have free agents for these now, and it gives you kind of a whole new group to pick from in a way.
Right, and I think that's where those free-to-play games really excel at. I mean, you get that big, broader audience of kids, adults. It's free. Nobody's gonna pass down something free. If you do, you're probably weird, and you probably got a good noggin on your shoulders. But
There you go.
yeah, I don't know. But I think that's everything that we really have going on.
Yeah, I think that was a good first
Yeah.
episode.
It was actually good. We answered a lot of questions. Got a lot of stuff out there.
Right. Yeah. I think we got a lot more to talk to next episode. But thank you guys for listening and watching the little scroll if you're watching it on YouTube. I want to thank the sponsors and partners that we have. Agent Ink Apparel and GG Bracelets, Rogue Energy. Thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions and would like to really know anything about NeX Gaming, you can hit us up in the description, DM us on Instagram or Twitter, or go to nexgaming.us/frequently asked questions.